Streets in New Delhi were flooded with people paying their tribute as the casket of General Rawat and his wife Madhulika Rawat were taken for the last rites that was then performed amid this grief and pain by the daughters of General Rawat. Also importantly, remember, over 800 military personnel, including the chiefs of Army Armed Forces and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, attended the funeral and paid their homage. Here's a detailed report now on what exactly happened through the day and how India bid a farewell to its topmost military officer.
It's a farewell that he would probably have chuckled at. But it was one befitting for the man he was. This was how the men and women of India bid him goodbye. The mortal remains of India's first Chief of Defence Staff and his wife in a gun carriage. Travelled amidst a sea of incredible public adulation to the site of their final journey. Amidst the grief and pain, the military conducted itself with incredible dignity and precision, bringing General and Mrs. Rawat into Delhi's Brar Square crematorium. The sight of the two caskets, adorned with flowers and the flag, a painful reminder that a tragedy that's still sinking in is really true. After a wreath-laying ceremony, which saw admirers and friends from India and across the world joining the top military and defence leadership, it was for the grieving family, the couple's two daughters, Kritika and Tarini, to bid their father and mother farewell. And in a final act, the country's first Chief of Defence Staff and Mrs. Madhulika Rawat were consigned to the eternal flame. These images emblazoned on the minds of the family and every Indian. The first couple of the Indian military, vibrant, warm, full of life, and with so much left to do, have bid this world farewell. With Aishwarya Paliwal and Mohit Sharma at Brar Square, Bureau Report, India Today.
And of course, what is noticeable also in this grief and pain is the courage and the grace that the family members have also shown. My colleague Mohit Sharma has now spoken to Colonel Vijay Rawat, the brother of General Rawat. Listen into what he's saying.
बिपिन रावत के छोटे भाई हैं इस समय और हम जानना चाहेंगे, पूरा देश जानना चाहता है कि कैसे थे और ट्रैजिक लॉस है सर. आई एम रियली सॉरी फॉर द सेम सर. Sir, I just want to know from you, sir, how was sir in his private life, his familial life, sir?
He was there like after my father expired. He was the one looking after the whole family. He was the one who had kept all of us together and kept a brown homie type of an environment. Whenever we needed him, or it was a family where anybody needed anybody, the other person was there to hear him out. And he was a really loving person, not only for the family but for the cousins, for the outsiders also, in the sense the whole country loved him. And we of course were living right from school days, boarding days, we were together in the same boarding. Childhood days we spent together, and we have had some lovely time together. We were more like friends because the age difference is very little between us. So we were more like extremely close friends, apart from brothers. And he was a really loving person. And I'll really miss him. I'll really miss him.
I'm really sorry, sir. I'm really sorry for your tragic loss, sir. Because the brave heart that he was, the kind of things that he managed for the country is something that all I can do right now is just, I can only say that my condolences are with you, sir. My utmost respect to you and the family as well, sir. But it's as if, the kind of emotions that are flowing across the country is something that is very much visible, sir. People were with sir till the final journey, sir. People were walking right with him.
In fact, yes, that is there. And the only sad part what I feel is he had started changing the culture of the armed forces, the security scenario, the country, bringing it into the World League. And he had a great vision. He was a visionary. He had a great vision. And though he succeeded in implementing quite a bit of it, he is more than 50% in a very short span of time. However, I wish he was there longer to see his dreams come true and on the ground that vision being implemented.
But it's tremendous work that he's done in the army as well, sir. Whether it's anti-insurgency work that he's done in the northeast, in Kashmir, fighting terrorists, ensuring that our stronghold against the Chinese stood strong as it is, sir. But how do you see this? Because I asked this question solely of the fact that you are also a part of the armed forces, sir. You've been there, you've seen it all.
I have been in the armed forces, and the vision of theaterization of the complete armed forces is like people initially may not like the idea of changes, because change is something which is very difficult to bring about, and he to a lot of extent has achieved that, to bring bonhomie between the three services, to bring bonhomie between the officer class, the JSU class, the other rank class who we call as brothers, because in the army, in the armed forces, we are a very, very close-knit family. And he has not only the army as such, where we were different organizations, like army had its own bonhomie part of it, he has brought the whole armed forces together. And tomorrow, war will be fought as one, and theaterization is all about that, being a part of each other.
My final question to you is regarding... Sir, what would you ask the countrymen to remember him as what, sir, something that you could give them to remember by, as a family member and as an army man?
I would like him to be remembered as an excellent and a good person, a loving person, and a visionary.
Sir, thank you so much, and once again my respects to the family and to you, sir. And there you heard from the younger brother of Bipin Rawat himself, very categorically going on to say that how he wants his brother to be remembered as a visionary, as a man of character, and more importantly as a nationalist beyond everything else. For India Today, this is Mohit Sharma with video journalist Deepak Bisht.